The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. Welcome to the Business Buzz. It's Thursday, January 12th. We're midway into the first month of a brand new year. I want to say good morning to our listeners joining us via the airwaves and those of you joining us on YouTube, streaming live. Good morning to our producer, Ms. Susan Watson, in the next studio. Good morning, Susan. And to our guest in the studio from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and National Drug Council. We have from the RCIPS, we have the lovely Miss PC Jodianne Powery. She is the police media officer with the media and communications unit. And joining her, the lovely Delissa Hernandez. And she is the prevention and education officer with an NDC. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I'm struggling here.
Are you? It's Thursday.
It's Thursday,
almost
right?
there.
I need coffee. But I use decaf anyway, so it wouldn't help me much. How are you, ladies?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Had a good Christmas?
Oh, yes, it was lovely.
Last time I saw you was last year?
Yeah.
That's true.
So long ago.
So long ago. You had a good Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
You're ready?
Worked, but it was fine.
Ready for 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Ready to put 2022 behind us.
We have to learn from our past, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
I agree.
No, we're going to talk about Operation Winter Guardian. And for those of our listeners who might not know what Winter Guardian is all about, Jodianne, can you share a little bit about the Winter Guardian operation, the main focus, and the mission of the operation as well?
Well, Operation Winter Guardian has become a annual event. We've been doing it for quite some time now, and we've always collaborated with the Arrive Alive campaign, Arrive Alive 345 campaign, that is led by the NDC and the Compass Media. And so our aim over the holiday season is to provide a level of support to the community that is needed during this very high-paced and consumer-driven month of the year. So what we do is we provide high-visibility patrols for our officers, from our officers, and that includes mobile patrols. And as you know, our vehicles, we have the lights on them at nights, especially constantly. So that increases our visibility at nights as well. And also it includes foot patrols. So during the time, especially over the holiday period where businesses open later than usual, you'll find that our officers are walking around, mingling, speaking with business owners and employees and so on, just making sure that everybody is kept safe over the holidays. From a traffic perspective, we also do a lot of high visibility vehicular checkpoints, and also we'll do other enforcement type operations as well, like speed traps and so on. And these are to also assist with the events that take place over the holiday season. A lot of Christmas parties, a lot of just Christmas events from workplaces, and so we find that DUIs would increase in the month of December as a result of that. So just to kind of mitigate and to keep the roads safe as well, we do a lot of vehicular checkpoints to make sure that we're seen, especially, and so hopefully that deters people from trying to drink and drive.
So you can say that Operation Winter Guardian has officially ended.
It has. It has ended this year because the holidays fell a little bit into January. We finished on the 2nd of January this year. Yeah.
Okay, so I know a new operation is going to kick in, but let's wrap up officially.
We will officially wrap up.
Right here on Radio
Yes,
Cayman.
absolutely.
On the buzz. No, Jodianne, can you give us some details of the results of Winter Guardian?
Yeah, absolutely.
Put you into, let's say, vehicle collision, speeding, and those other offenses.
Well, okay. So, for the month of December, in particular, there were 253 reported vehicle collisions during that month.
One
Yeah.
more month? Would that be a 31-day period?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
253.
253. And unfortunately, one of those happened to have been a fatal collision on Eastern Avenue.
Oh my.
Yeah. Of those as well, 35 persons were arrested in relation to drunk driving offenses, and over 180 incidents recorded during the month of December were as a result of speeding violations. So not necessarily that a person got 100, that we issued 180 tickets, but there were reports of persons speeding, persons driving reckless and dangerously. These are included in there as well.
Okay. Now, how many units within the police, CIPS, actually participated
All
in
of
the
them.
operation? Everybody,
All of
including
them.
the K9.
Yes, everybody participated in some way because Operation Winter Guardian is not just a traffic enforcement. Sorry, but it was also crime prevention. It was also community policing, and what we did in order to increase our numbers on the road and increase our visibility as well was to close down a lot of our back offices where officers were working administrative positions. And those officers came out in their uniforms and they did patrol duties and assisted with the visibility and assisted with the crime control over the holiday season.
Off the top of your head, Julianne, was 2022 a quiet year in relation to 2021?
No. To be honest, you'll find, and the stats will come out a little later in the year once our analysts are finished with reviewing. But you might find that there may be an increase in some areas and then a decrease in others. So it's kind of almost balanced. But the increases, unfortunately, like the increases in the use of firearm-enabled crimes, those I think were the highlight of last year, and I think that is where we were a little bit on edge. But to mitigate that as well, especially over the holiday season, we did increase our firearm response units on the roads as well, and we ensured that all the districts had a firearm response unit available. And there was a robbery in Cameron Brack over the holiday as well, and they even went over to Cameron Brack, our firearm officers, and conducted an search warrant and an operation which resulted in the arrest of the suspect for that robbery.
Okay. Now, Delissa, Prevention and Education Officer, National Drug Council, NDC. Tell us how did we fare out with the, I know the NDC and RCIPS, you guys work hand in hand, and you're always hand in hand on the buzz as well,
Yes.
and we welcome that. How did it work out relating to the anti-drinking campaign and the Arrive Alive Purple Ribbon Bus Initiative?
Well, this year, for me, I felt like it was a really good experience. I was able to get a lot of community feedback, and working with RCIPS and Compass Media to ensure that the community has a campaign of this nature for all three entities, as well as partnering also with Radio Cayman. It is super important, and the numbers showed this year. This year we had 3,619 riders on New Year's Eve between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m.
Give me those stats. Give me that number again.
3,619 riders this year.
I took the bus on New Year's Eve.
Yes,
that
on New Year's
is
Eve.
awesome.
And in 2022, we had 3,621. 21. We had 2,942. So you can see the difference. In 2020, it was the number was a little bit lower. Obviously, for COVID, you would notice and recognize that decrease. But prior to COVID, the numbers were quite close. And so for us, we were really happy to see that people came out and utilized the service for the purpose that it was served. When it comes to this 2022 was our 22nd anniversary. So for us, we had 114 restaurants and bars, both in Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman, that participated in the designated driver program. That's where people went out and they collected their purple ribbon key ring. They presented those and they were able to get, and Jody has hers and I have mine in my bag. They were able to get free non-alcoholic beverages once they said that they were the designated driver and they, that they were going to be the person responsible for the evening. So overall, I think for us it was a win. It was a good look. Yeah. Of course, I was out on the roads at the 7 Mile Beach area for New Year's Eve and leading into the new year. So I saw a lot of the RCIPS presence while we were out there. I saw the bus, when I was heading into to the beach along West Bay Road, along the Camana Bay area. So, we couldn't have done this sponsorship. We couldn't have done this campaign without the sponsors. Definitely. We had 11 sponsors this year, platinum and gold. We had Burger King. We had Island Electronics, security and monitoring. We had Napa Auto and Truck Parts. We had CG Brick Blackbeards, and Rubis in our platinum area. And we then, for gold sponsors, we had Dart, NRA, Davenport, Pest Kill, and Heineken Zero, Jake Scott's. And of course, there are many people behind the scenes that work together to get this campaign, off and running, and then throughout the month between November and December. Those people are the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Home Affairs, RCIPS, of course, Department of Planning, Lands and Survey, CUC. You see all the poles along certain bypass and stuff like that. There were lots of flags telling people to take the pledge and ride free and drive sober. CUC ensured that those flags went up for us, and we really appreciate that. Foster's Supermarket as well. We had flags in some of their areas. Digicel assisted with getting the messaging out there. Reflections at Jose's Rubis, Radio Cayman, as well as a young man named Philip Bent, and of course the entire Cayman community and the supporters of the campaign. This year was brilliant, and we could not have done it without those persons.
Yay.
I
love hearing that. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. I want to say thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today. Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. It's beautiful on the inside as well. Visiting from the RCIPS, we have PC Jodianne Powery. She's the Police Media Officer with the Media and Communications Unit. And alongside her, we have Ms. Delissa Hernandez. Delissa is a Prevention and Education Officer with the National Drug Council. Ladies, it looks like it was a nice ending to 2022. Well, not police-wise, but
It's doing gears up.
but the Arrive Alive Purple Ribbon Bus Initiative. You know, I personally, I think if we can save the life of one person during that time, you know, we can say we've worked to do it. Mm-hmm. Now, 3,619 riders. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were charging them how much revenue you'll make? No, I'm just kidding.
The point is to encourage them
to
take the bus.
Yeah, and it's free, and I think a lot of people kept that word in the back of their minds during that time because they were able to go, you know, if they started at Camana Bay at one of the terminals, they were able to go down to the beach, which was at another terminal, you know, so they ensured that, you know, they made the plan, designated their driver if they needed, but then also utilized the service the way we hoped that they did.
So I guess you've already started planning for this year.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
More sponsors. How many buses did you have on the road?
This year we had 18, which was the most that we've ever had on the roads in history. And it would be nice for, you know, a lot more support. That way we can, you know, increase that number come 2023. It's really important that we have, you know, the buses running throughout. And this year I think it was very special because it was on a Saturday. You know, and the New Year's Day was on the Sunday, so it was a little bit different. But of course, this year coming will be definitely, you know, longer hours and such. So, you know, let's see what support looks like, and we're really hoping that we do get that.
Okay, more buses.
Yes.
What time was the cutoff?
I believe the cutoff was 2 or 3. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was 3 a.m. because it was from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cayman Brac. How many buses you had in Cayman Brac?
We had about four vehicles over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people rode the bus in Cayman Brac? Do you know?
I don't know a figure at the moment.
Okay.
I do know that there were a lot of people out and about, but of course, with Cayman Brac, it was a little bit different because their community, you know, their Sunday is very important to them. So I'm sure that we did have riders, but you know, I can't give a number at the moment.
Okay. All right. I love that feedback. Now, the RCIPS. What was we've got the stats, Jodianne.
Yeah.
But what was the police experience like on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day?
New Year's Eve is always pretty busy for us, but we plan for it. So we had we had a contingent plan where we had an excessive amount of officers that were able to work both on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And thank goodness for that, because there were a number of incidents that took place on New Year's Eve throughout the day. One of them was a very serious collision where a young man is still in critical condition at the hospital. And the other one was an assault incident that took place in Bodden Town late in the evening on New Year's evening. We did also have some positive actions taken, especially on New Year's Day, where we actually arrested persons for robbery. For some of the robbery incidents that were taking place. So, so far now we've had, I think, 6 arrests in relation to both the robberies and other firearm-related incidents. And we've done a number of search warrants throughout the month. So even though we had a plan as it relates to New Year's Eve, regular policing was still able to take place in terms of the search warrants and the continuation of the investigations, which is very important to the community as well because of the impact that the robberies had on the community at large.
So you actually had a robbery on New Year's Day?
No, we made arrests.
Arrest?
Yes.
Arrest.
We haven't had...
Well, you guys didn't get a break.
No. But that's okay. That's the nature of our job, and that's what we signed up for. It's okay. We haven't had, thank goodness, I can say this, a robbery since the 14th of December. So we're hoping that we've broken the momentum, and with the arrest, it means that perpetrators are being a little bit, they're a little bit more aware now. That we are taking positive action, and hopefully with the support of the community, as we always have, that we can put these people away for a long period of time so that the community can have a well-deserved rest
and feel safe.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the crime trends coming out of the operation that the RCIPS is, let's say, paying really close attention to, and how would you be addressing it, if this is something you can answer, Julianne?
Right. So crime trends coming out of the operation, as we discussed, were the robberies that had been taking place since August of the year, but had increased the closer we got to December and into December. But in addition to that, there were quite a bit of acquisitive crime. And by that I meant theft-related crimes. So we did see a little bit of shoplifting that took place, but we did also make arrests in relation to those. And we also saw a few vehicles being broken into. But these are things that we anticipated as well, and we made sure that we put out the message for persons to ensure that they don't leave their valuables in the car, especially while they're out shopping. Make sure that they're put in the trunk rather than where they can be seen inside your car. And also, from a road policing perspective, there was quite a bit of persons who were driving disqualified, in addition to the drunk driving, that is, because we've had 35 arrests for drunk driving, but there were a number of persons who were driving whilst disqualified, and in essence, if you do that, that means that you're also driving without insurance, because insurance doesn't cover you if you're disqualified or if you're not qualified. And we also saw a lot of distracted driving and a lot of speeding. So I just want people to pay attention when they're driving, and also reduce your speeds, because, where are we really going?
Yeah, I ask myself that question all the time when I'm on the road. Like this morning, coming to work,
Yeah.
left home at 5:45, and then speeding. I'm like, Is everybody late for 8 o'clock?
Yeah. Superintendent Ebanks was supposed to be here this morning. He isn't feeling well, so he asked me to send a message, and I thought that this might be, an appropriate time to do that. He said, "My apologies for not being a part of Business Buzz this morning. Operation Winter Guardian has always been around keeping our community safe, whether it's personal safety, driving safety advice, or enhancing safety measures around our businesses. We are thankful to our partners, stakeholders, and members of the public who work with us to achieve this safety that we were able to produce over the holiday season. The types of incidents," and he's being specific about the armed robberies, that faced us this year caused the RCIPS to apply a level of visibility to curb the incidents occurring. Our officers worked tirelessly throughout the holidays to address these issues with great success, and we thank them. From the traffic perspective, we did unfortunately have one fatal and other serious MVAs, which is always unfortunate. And on behalf of the RCIPS, we want to extend our condolences to all the families who lost someone in 2022 as a result of road fatal collisions.
We want to wish Superintendent Brad a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
We missed you on the bus this morning.
Yes.
Now, going back to, you mentioned shoplifting, Jodianne.
Yeah.
Is that a new trend? I mean, I know people shoplift all the time.
No.
But is this an increase?
No. Shoplifting a lot of times is a crime of opportunity. And over the holiday period, there may have been quite a bit of opportunity just because of the sheer amount of people that are in the stores. During the holiday period, it's very difficult for storekeepers and store attendants to keep an eye on every single person. So it's easy for somebody to kind of slip by. But I don't think that it's something that is
into a purse or something, right?
Right. So I don't think that it's specifically something that is on the rise. In this particular case, the persons that were arrested in relation to this, it appeared they had been doing it for some time. They were caught on camera by the business, and it was a fragrance store. And we executed a search warrant at their homes, and we found several others. So it seemed as if it was something that had been taking place gradually throughout the year, or probably even before that.
They were building up their own stock.
It appears
More or less.
so. We were able to. We made that arrest, and it was an arrest on scene. They had returned to the store, and we were called by the business, and we made the arrest there on the scene. And then we executed the warrants, and we found the additional things, and they were further arrested in relation to these things, and the investigation is ongoing at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Delissa, our listeners have mentioned that the Purple Ribbon bus service should be more available more frequently, rather, during the course of the year. What would it take to make this a reality?
Well, to start off, I think support mainly. We have been in 2022, we've had opportunities where we were able to have the bus run during private events requested by those establishments. And they quite enjoyed it. They saw the need for it clearly as they reached out to us and requested that. And it was very much well received as well by their patrons or their staff. And so, over the next few months, should you have something in mind whether it's leading up to the holiday, whether it is, during an event that you have coming up, people can certainly reach out to Simon Miller at the NDC, and he would be able to assist in any which way he can, whether that is the organizing or letting you know, the process and, the steps you need to take. So it's, I think if over the last few years that I've been at the National Drug Council, I have actually said on Radio Cayman that, worldwide there are certain islands in the Caribbean as well as in countries in the UK and Europe that utilize a service like this for specific events, whether that's Trinidad Carnival, for example, or Jamaica Carnival, or, events over in Europe. And they provide this service similar to the way we do. And it's become a part of what they do, as it pertains to ensuring that their patrons are safe, and as it pertains to giving this as an extra bonus for their patrons. And so it is very much something that I think the Cayman community should consider. And I think Jody earlier this month, we had discussed that people should add this into their packages.
And their packages for events. Absolutely, I think so. Because, I mean, what exactly would be the cost for it in relation to the lives that you save as an event planner? Because how would you feel as an event organizer if you knew that somebody who was participating in your event met their end because they drank too much and they went
at their event
from your event? So I definitely think that is something that event planners and organizers should consider as part of their packages.
And I think one of the things, Miss Anita, what we had discussed before in December is that, it's not that we put this service in place to tell people that it's okay to go out and, overindulge in drinking and such. It's to ensure that there is a service in place for persons who aren't drinking, who are out there with their family, who have decided to, take a drink or two and ended up, being a little bit over what they, or overindulging rather. And so it's not something that we're encouraging, but we're encouraging for people to still have a life at the end of their event. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with PC, Jodianne, and Delissa.
Increase your chances to win during the Rubis Pure Joy promotion. Don't miss Double Stamp Tuesdays and Thursdays at Jose's Rubis. Reflections offers you gas for less, and each time you fuel up at Jose's Rubis, you can enter to win weekly prize giveaways, plus the grand prize of a beautiful piece of land in Grand Cayman.
I'm sorry, what?
What did you say? Yes, Double Stamp Tuesdays and Thursdays are back at Jose's. Lower priced fuel, awesome prizes, and your chance to win a $150,000 piece of land. Don't forget, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Jose's Rubis, you not only get gas for less, you get double stamps to enter to win a $150,000 piece of land in the Rubis Pure Joy promotion. Be entered to win in the Rubis Pure Joy promotion by January 27th.
The 2023 National Heroes Day celebration is accepting food vendor proposals until Friday, January 13th. Eligible food vendors should not currently occupy any commercial space, must hold a current business license, as well as a food, hygiene, and handling certificate from the Department of Environmental Health. Documents are available by emailing nationalevents@gov.ky, or you can collect from the Government Administration Building reception desk. All applications must be submitted by 5 p.m. on Friday, January 13th.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Quite a short break there. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is a final leg of the Buzz this morning. We're speaking with PC Jody Ampari. She's a police media officer with a media and communications unit. And we have in studio as well Delissa Hernandez. Delissa is a prevention and education officer with the National Drug Council, NDC. Now, girls, you know your stuff, don't you? You do. Now, what would the NDC, do you offer any type of programs for businesses throughout the year?
So we do offer we have a lot of programs that we offer. Let me start with that. We offer a lot of education, prevention education programs to the schools, schools from preschool during certain times of the year, but elementary as well as high schools and tertiary education establishments as well. We also offer tips for restaurants and bars, as well as businesses who sell alcohol. And so the person to call is Simon. He would be able to organize your sessions. It is a few hours long. But I'll tell you, it's worthwhile. It's where your servers, people who are selling to their patrons alcohol, the waiters, the managers of those establishments are aware and learn how to assist. Whether there's someone there who's overindulged, how to figure out and be able to be aware of those people who are overindulging in the process and how to cut them off, and so on and so forth. So TIPS is definitely a really good program for restaurants and bars and establishments who are selling alcohol to assist them with their patrons.
How many times per year do you offer this?
We offer it throughout the entire year.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Once the establishment calls and requests for it. I've lived off Cayman Islands, right? And when I've lived in the UK, they have they utilize a similar service or a similar program, and they measure out, your beverage and such, and I've noticed kind of the way they've taken that program and how it's assisted their patrons and how they're able to maintain a safe environment for everyone. And I think this is a program that is quite beneficial for each and every establishment that has the ability to sell.
Do you have many businesses on Cayman that have utilized the program?
There has been quite a lot. I don't know a number offhand, but I can say that we have a lot. We would love that every single business on all three islands has the opportunity to do that. And like I said, Simon would be able to assist with, whether it's off season time or, one day, it's just a day or two out of their busy schedule, that they can organize that for them.
Oh, very nice. You guys are hardworking people.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Now, Julia, what would the RCIPS be focusing on this year, especially pertaining to road safety?
I think that we'll just be carrying on, really. Our mandate when it comes to road safety is education first and enforcement later. And that's because we prioritize safety and we want everyone to be safe and we want them to know how to be safe. And so as part of that, what we've done in the past and what we'll continue to do is we'll engage with the community using partners like the NDC and other organizations, any other organization who wants to be a part of that or who's already had a start in road safety. For instance, we partner a lot with the National Roads Authority, and I know you probably see their billboards where they remind you to drive slow, don't drink and drive. They remind you that the DUI limit has been reduced. Those billboards are they belong to the National Roads Authority, and in partnership with us, they've put these messages up in very strategic locations to ensure that persons are reminded to be safe on the road. So we'll continue to do that. We'll continue with our social media messaging as well. We have an Instagram page, and we have, of course, our website and Facebook. And our officers are often also in the schools, especially at career days and that kind of stuff. We come out with our gadgets because we want to engage the children, and we start from that young to promote road safety in hopes that the older that they get, it'll become part of them as they get older, and will grow a culture of safe driving.
Before I let you both go, some contact details for both RCIPS and the NDC.
At the National Drug Council, it's 949-9000. If the community is out there listening at the moment and you would like to give us some feedback in regards to the Purple Ribbon Bus or the Arrive Alive campaign, send us an email at info@ndc.ky. All tips and feedback is definitely welcome.
Okay. Jodianne?
And again, we are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we also have our website, rcips.ky. Before I go, I want to say a very, very, very special thanks to the community and to specific members of the community who are always sending us those video clips of poor driving behavior on the road so that we can correct those. We do get those often, and I want to thank you guys for being a part of the Safe Driving campaign all year long. And I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year on behalf of the RCIPS.
Let me wish you the same.
Thank
both
you.
of you. Thank you both, Jodianne and Delissa, for being in the studio this morning. We want to say thank you. We appreciate your time and you educating the public as well. Thanks to Susan for holding down the buzz this morning. Thank you, Susan. She's our producer and she does a great job.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Susan. And thanks to our sponsor, Kimberly Insurance Center. And of course, to those of you listening via the YouTube and Radio Cayman. We'll see you on Tuesday for another Business Buzz. In the meantime, please stay safe.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio